Okay, picture this. Your team is on a 40-game winning streak at home. 40 games. The arena is packed, it's electric, and everyone's expecting you to roll. But then, your opponent decides they didn't get the memo, and all of a sudden that legendary streak is hanging by a thread. So yeah, let's dive into this wild showdown between the Texas Longhorns and the Kentucky Wildcats. Right? It's the big question. How does a team that looks totally unbeatable get pushed right to the edge? This whole thing is about so much more than just the final score. It's a story about momentum, about pressure, and how a game can just flip on a dime. We're going to break down how Texas built this fortress at home, how Kentucky almost tore it all down, and the one hidden key that kept the walls from crumbling. So Act 1, the Longhorns Stampede. The game tips off and it is all Texas. And I'm not talking about a good start. This was a statement. The Longhorns came out looking exactly like a team on a historic run, and they were putting on an absolute show. And when I say a show, I mean it. Get this. Early on, Texas was shooting a ridiculous 73% from the floor. 73. They weren't just hitting shots. It felt like they couldn't miss. Seriously, every single possession seemed to end with the ball just swishing through the net. It was pure, beautiful dominance. And who was leading that charge? One player in particular, Justice Carlton. She came out and immediately established herself as this unstoppable force. Before Kentucky even knew what hit him, Carlton had already dropped a quick 8 points. It was like she was sending a message that she was going to be a huge problem all night long. And that problem? Oh, it just got bigger. Her point total kept climbing, hitting 12 in what felt like a blink of an eye. She was scoring inside, hitting these tough physical shots, and just completely owning the paint. It was an absolute masterclass that really set the tone for that entire first half. The announcers on the broadcast just nailed it with this quote. It perfectly captures what it felt like to watch her play. And the thing is, this wasn't about some wide-open, easy look. This was about pure skill and will. Carlton was taking these difficult, contested shots and just making them look easy. Kentucky, they just had no answer for her. But you know how sports are? Just when it looked like this was going to be a total blowout, something shifted. The whole story of the game took a sharp, unexpected turn. Kentucky, after taking that huge punch to the mouth, they started to fight back. And this wasn't just a comeback, it was a full-on rebellion. And every rebellion needs a hero. For Kentucky, that hero was Asia Boone. She comes into the game and just completely changes everything. While Texas was so focused on locking down the paint, Boone started lighting them up from the outside. She was the exact spark the Wildcats desperately needed. And her impact was just boom, immediate. It wasn't just that she was hitting shots, it was how. She went a perfect 4 for 4 from three-point range. And here's the crazy part, she was getting wide open looks. The Texas defense, which was so locked in everywhere else, just kept losing her. It got so bad the Texas coach had to call a timeout, and you can just imagine him yelling, "Can somebody please guard Asia Boone?" And this right here shows you exactly what happened. That giant, comfortable lead Texas had built up, poof, it started to evaporate. With every three from Boone, with every gritty play from her teammates, Kentucky just clawed its way back. That lead kept shrinking and shrinking until the once dominant Longhorns were suddenly in a real dogfight. I love this quote from the broadcast because you could literally feel the energy shift, not just in the arena, but right through your TV screen. The blowout was off. Any idea that this was a foregone conclusion was gone. This was a real nail-biter of a basketball game now, and the tension was just cranking up. And then it happened. The moment of truth. Kentucky finishes the comeback. They cut the Texas lead all the way down to a single point, 1. After all that early dominance, the sellout crowd, the winning streak, it all came down to this. The powerhouse was on the ropes, big time. So this is it, right? The moment of truth. What happens next? How does a championship-level team respond when their backs are completely against the wall? Well, in those final, crucial minutes, Texas showed everyone exactly why they'd won 39 straight games at home. They made their stand. Let's walk through these closing moments. With about 3 minutes left, who else but Justice Carlton, the same player who started the game on fire, hits a massive wide-open three. It was an absolute dagger that just sucked the air out of Kentucky's comeback. Then, on a huge possession, Kentucky gets a look in the paint to tie or take the lead, and they miss. From there, Texas just hangs on and seals the deal. So you look at the final score, 64-53. an 11-point margin. And you might think, oh, okay, looks like a pretty comfortable win. But we know better, don't we? Those numbers do not tell the real story. This game was anything but comfortable. It was won in the trenches, in those final nerve-wracking minutes. Which brings us to the real question here. Yeah, Carlton's shot was huge, but it wasn't just that. There was something else going on, an underlying strategic battle that Texas was winning all night long, even when it didn't look like it. So, what was the secret? The answer lies right here, with a concept called the live ball turnover. Now, this isn't just accidentally stepping out of bounds. No, this is the bad stuff. This is a steal, a bad pass that gets picked off. It's a mistake that immediately turns into a fast break and easy points for the other team. It is the most demoralizing mistake in basketball. And this is the number that really defined the entire game. 23. Texas's relentless, suffocating defense forced Kentucky into an unbelievable 23 turnovers. Just let that sink in. 23 times Kentucky had the ball and didn't even get a chance to shoot. And that right there is the real takeaway. For all the talk about hot shooting and thrilling comebacks, this game was won by good old-fashioned, gritty, in-your-face defense. That constant pressure from Texas was the foundation that let them survive Kentucky's rebellion and ultimately secure that historic 40th straight home win. It really leaves you with a fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? We all love the flashy offense, the high-flying plays, the incredible three-point shooting. But when a championship streak is on the line, when everything is at stake, does the game still just come down to which team can refuse to let the other one score? After watching this one, I'd say the answer is pretty clear.